Hello again, guys. So this is the last video of the Swift introduction video series. If there is any more new videos in the future, it will be specific to certain topic which I'm going to address. But as far as the video series is concerned, this is the last one. So for this video, I'm going to talk about the daily process, the as is, and as well as the to be. When I say daily process, I'm referring to the specific activities that BAT is doing every day from morning to evening. So these are sets of activities that they follow until from the starting until the end closing. So let me cover the high level activities one by one from the beginning. So, okay, for the S is only looking at one cycle. It's happening, all happening within a day. Okay, so from morning until evening. So for the first one is pick and pack. What it means is in the morning, when the salesmen, uh, when they come to the warehouse, the place where they pick up their stock, what they will do is in the morning, the stock is ready on the pallet, is already arranged by the storekeeper. So what they will do is they will just uh, load the stock into their vans. But before that, the first thing that they will do in the morning is they will download the data into their PDA, because the data that is in the PDA at that time is still the data from yesterday. So they have to do a daily download before they start the activity. So once they download the data into the PDA, then they can verify the stock, what they have, against what has been arranged on the pallet for them. So what they would usually do is they will print out the stock list from the PDA and then check each of the SKU tallies with what has been arranged for them. Because as I mentioned in the previous video, on the pallet, the stocks has been arranged based on the van. So if salesman van 001, so he would be going to the 001 pallet and check whether it tallies or not. And then so that's the pick and pack activity, which is they download the data and then they verify the stock. If everything is okay, then they would load the stock into the van. Okay, but if there is any discrepancy, then they would approach the storekeeper to make the correction, and until that is corrected, they won't leave the building. Okay, so that is the pick and pack. And once the stock has been loaded into the van, then they would go out to the field based on the routing. So if you recall, I mentioned that in the PDA, when they log in, the first thing that they will see is the today's route. It's called today's route because that is the list of outlets that they have to visit on that day. So it's arranged in the sequence that they have to visit. And so then they would go visit the first until the last one. Usually on the average, there will be around 30 to 40 outlets to visit per day per salesman. Okay, so usually what they do in the sell-in activity is, yes, they will visit the outlet based on the daily route, and they would go to the outlet and take the order on the spot. That's why it's called prompt sales. And based on the order that they get, then they would print the invoice. Okay, and depending on whether the outlet is a cash outlet, a credit outlet, so they may collect the money or not. So some outlets may have a market return, so they would take back the stock and load into the van. So um, so that's basically the sell-in activity. For the salesmen, they also do basic checking. For example, when they are in the outlet, they will make sure that the products or the SKUs are arranged in the right planogramming what do you call that, planogramming plan that they have. It has to be in a certain arrangement. So, and then they'll make sure that the hygiene of the cabinet also is taken care of. It has to be clean, this kind of things. So those are the basic activities that the salesman will be doing. And then sometimes when they go into a new area, they may come across a new outlet which has not been registered into the system. So they may approach the outlet and the owner, the retailer, and they may get the information. If they may approach them, asking them whether they're interested to sell cigarettes. If they are, and the salesman would then capture the basic information into the PDA. And later on, when they upload the data to the backend, there will be a follow-up from either the TMR or the supervisor. And for the new outlet, sometimes they may do sales on the spot as well. Okay, so that is possible with the PDA. I mean the current system. So once they finish visiting all the outlets in their daily route list, so now it's time to go back to the warehouse. So the first thing that they will do is they will do a reconciliation of the remaining stock or the stocks that they have in the van. And also the two most important things they do is, the first one is the stock reconciliation, to ensure that whatever is in the PDA tallies with whatever is inside the van again, just like in the morning. And they will also count all the cash. So they'll do also cash reconciliation to make sure that whatever in the summary report from the PDA tallies with what they have in the physical cash that they collect for the day. So this includes not only sales but also collection from the credit outlet. So usually the total is more than what is the total sales for that day, because they, like I mentioned, they will also go to the credit outlets and to collect the outstanding credit. So once everything is okay, then only they would upload the data. So here again we come across the word download in the morning and upload in the evening. Okay, because this is an offline system, it's not online, so they have to do these two activities every day: download, upload. And once the data is uploaded, okay, the sequence here is a little bit wrong. It should be day end closing first. The day end closing basically is done by the admin. The admin would receive the data. So what it means here is, this is a technical term that we use, which means that to move the data from the staging area into the work in progress area. Because when the salesman upload the data, it doesn't hit the permanent table immediately. It goes to a staging area, because that's where you do all the reconciliation, verification before you receive it. Receive means like you confirm, but it's not closed. It's just in work in progress because it's still pending for other activities. So among other things that the admin would do is she would check again the van, all the vans list for the day has uploaded their data. There is no more van pending, I mean still outside. So once they verify that, then they can, before they do the closing, actually there is one more activity from the finance side. So the finance, by this time they already got all the cash from the vans. So the finance would generate the so-called finance report, okay, and then again do another round of tallying against the cash collected. And then once that is done, no discrepancy, all they will also check like the check collected, no bounce or no bounce, no rejected check, and so on. So what they will do is they will take this cash and the checks collected for that day and put it into an envelope or a security bag, and then seal it, because the security van from the bank is waiting outside, so outside the building. So they will do this every day. Every day the security van from the bank would go to the warehouse to collect the sales for that day from the finance. So so once that is done, so the finance gives an okay to the admin. So the admin then would proceed to do the end closing. And so up to this point, the activity for that day is considered closed. So, but then by this time, all the salesmen would have gone back home, but the admin and usually the warehouse admin will stay on for a little longer because they will have to prepare the allocation for the next day. So hence I have the D+1 here, which is referring to day +1. So in the as is process, to do this, they have to create first of all the plan issue, and once the plan issue is confirmed, then they will create the actual issue. So plan issue is basically an allocation which shows the list of SKU by quantity for each van for the next day. But at this point of time, they can still edit the issue in case of any, for example, they don't have enough stock for certain SKU, so they would go back to the issue to edit it. And then once that is finalized, then only they create the actual issue. So once actual issue is created, no more amendments can be created in the system. So that eventually will generate the stock picking report for the next day, D+1. So and then the whole cycle repeats again the next day. So this is the as is process. Okay, so I've got 2 points here. For as is, first of all, stock allocation is done manually based on the system forecast. That is basically this activity here, and is based on prom sales. So notice that I don't have any pre-sales or telesales mentioned here. So now let's talk about the 2B model. 2B model, I would say 90% of them is the same, but the most noticeable difference is this. You can see that the activity now is broken into 2-day cycle. So the first cycle is mainly to do with the order taking, and the subsequent day or day 2 is mainly to do with the delivery of the stock which has been captured in the previous day. So I'm not going into detail of this each of these activity, because it's basically the same as what we have in the previous one, but just to highlight the key differences. The first one is the order taking. As opposed to the previous one, the first activity is pick and pack, right? But this one is order taking, and these two activities are taken care by the pre-sales. If you recall, in I think video 3, I mentioned about the structure of the distributor. So pre-sales, they are based in the distributor building office, okay? But telesales is centralized, is somewhere in KL. So the two orders which are captured by these pre-sales and telesales would then be summarized into for the next day delivery. So this summarization actually is taking place here. Okay, that means from the previous day when they create the when the orders are captured. So during the previous day, day end closing, when they do the confirmation of the van stock, so there's an additional step that they will do. They will be looking at the total pre-orders coming from pre-sales and telesales, and then would summarize them for the stock allocation. For the stock allocation, okay. So this is the one of the different activities in the 2B. And then of course, here instead of having the sell-in activity, you have delivery only. But basically, sell-in and delivery are the same, because it's basically it's the salesman who's now become a delivery van, going to the outlet, delivering the stock, and taking the cash, the payment from the retailer. So even the system is 90% is the same. We are reusing the same screen used by the prom sales salesman for the delivery. And they also have their delivery route, but the delivery route here is generated based on the stock allocation. And they also do collection for the outstanding outlets, credit outlets. Okay, so but this is um, but compared to the sales from sales for delivery, because they are not doing any more order taking on the spot, so they can cover more outlets. So in the past, I mean in the as is, if one salesman can cover between 30 to 40 outlets, with a delivery model probably they can cover 50 to 60 outlets per day. Okay, and the rest of them is the same. The end closing, stock allocation, but the difference, another difference here is that when they create the stock allocation, it's not based on forecast anymore, but it's based on the actual pre-sales, the pre-orders coming from the telesales and pre-sales. So, and once that is created, so that's the end of uh, the cycle. Okay. Um, oh, I just realized there's a mistake here. Okay, this one should be here. Okay, only the order taking is day one. Okay, sorry for that. But the rest of the activity is happening on day two. That means from the order picking onward, all the way, this is day two. And only the order taking is day one. But it's good that we noticed the mistake here, and we can correct it. Hopefully that, yeah, you won't mix up that as well as me. So that's the end of the slide, the 2V slide, and also the end of the video series on Swift introduction. Um, like I mentioned, if there is any more new videos after this, it will be specific to certain topic which I'm going to address. For now, that's all. Thank you.